Alright guys, the pool is officially completed. I'm gonna put a sign out by the road that says for $10 a day, your kids can come and play. No one over the age of 6, and they must be 5 foot tall. See how long it takes some of them to get that. Well, good morning everyone. Welcome back to Poorboys Little Homestead. If this is your first time here, thanks for dropping in. Make yourself at home. Drop by anytime you like, my friend. If this is your first time here on Poorboys Little Homestead, please check out all my other videos. I got over 100 videos that ought to keep you entertained for just a little while. Please hit that subscribe button, that like button, give me a thumbs up and help this poor boy grow this YouTube channel. Thank you ahead of time. But guys, today I'm sitting out here on the dock by the little swimming pool. Ones of you have been following along with the swimming pool operation and builds and reviews. And Lord, I hope this is the last piece of equipment we had to purchase for this swimming pool. It done got expensive. Started out as a $375 pool from Walmart. Yeah, that didn't last long, did it? But anyway, guys, today I got a set of the Vinyl Works 32-inch in-pool steps, and that's what we're going to be assembling. So I was sitting here, started reading on the little directions, and I got all my pieces laid out here on the pool deck. And for you that's interested in these steps, the directions come for the 24-inch or the 32-inch. We chose to get the 32-inch. It says tools required: 7/16 socket or nut driver, a measuring tape, a Phillips screwdriver, a utility / trimming knife or handsaw. That's a lot of difference between a knife and a handsaw, ain't it, my friends? And then it says you may need a 5/16 inch or a 1/4 inch drill bits and drill. So that's making me think already. I don't know how confident they are about their product if they think I'm gonna need a drill to start drilling extra holes in it. But they may be talking about mounting it to your deck. I'm sure I'm gonna have to do some little modifications to mount it to your deck, because everybody's deck's gonna be different. But anyway, my friends, I'm gonna have to get out from under this umbrella, I guess. And I'm gonna try to turn this camera around there so y'all can see me assembling it. And I'll try my best to tell y'all step by step as I go along. I like giving these little videos to help people. I hate when I have to get directions out and look at them, and some of them's confusion. Some of them just leave out parts. I put together something earlier today that apparently when they made the product the first time and they printed their directions, they made a modification to their product, but they didn't go back and change their directions. Go figure. But anyway, I'm finna get over here, finish my little cup of coffee, and then I'm finna get over here and start putting this together for y'all. Before we start, if y'all do want to purchase this, if y'all looking at this and interested in the Vinyl Works pool steps, I'm going to show you the picture of what it looks like right there. The box it come in didn't have no kind of pictures or nothing on it. When you get it, go on and get the little pool pad, which ain't nothing but just some tough rubber that'll go down in your pool on top of your liner up under them steps. It actually recommends that in the directions, but I'd already said I wasn't putting that straight on the bottom of my liner. we purchased these from Amazon for the steps and the pad. It was like $313. Now the 24-inch ones is a good bit cheaper than the 32-inch ones. And they probably big enough. I mean, that's 2 foot wide, that's that wide. But my wife, she wanted the 32 ones. I said, okay, baby, if that's what you want, you get it. Because she was paying for it, y'all. Anyway, let me get down here and start putting this together. Okay, guys. You got 2 panels like this right here. And up here on the top inside, one of them's got left and one of them's got right. We'll lay the right one down flat. And then in your directions, each one of these steps has a certain hole it goes into. So I'm starting on the bottom here, which would be like this. I put the first piece in there, and that's the piece with the slots going up and down, because that's kind of how it explains it. And the next piece, you got 2 of these here. You got 2 that ain't got no hole right here, and you got 1 that has a hole right here. So we're going to go next with this second one. But it says you have to bend this, and if it don't bend good, that you can take a heat gun. And I got a heat gun I brought out here just in case, and I think I'm finna heat it just a little bit. But it says in the directions you can heat this right here so it'll bend easier. You want to be careful doing this though with a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. Now which way am I bending this baby? And you're gonna stand it up and try to bend it around. And push it down and snap it in place. Just like that. That would be your, actually would be your first step. This is gonna be hard to make a video and show y'all a good video of doing this, but because you gotta have it flat on something to push down to snap them in these holes. And then your next step you're going to be snapping in place. It has this hole in it, and I don't know what that hole's for, but it shows it going next would be your second step. So I'm going to heat it to make it easier to bend. You're gonna do it the same way. You gotta line them holes up and put it in that slot and bend it around. Snap it in place. I'm gonna turn it up and give y'all a look at what we're starting to look like. And guys, like I said, I know this is hard to put together. Matter of fact, this is the hardest thing I've tried to put together and make a video on, because I can't, how you gotta lay it down to put it together. But that's your second step. Your third step is your other piece that ain't got no hole right here. And again, you just heat it. Thing's pretty tough to bend. We'll have to heat that some more. When you get it lined up, you just push down and it snaps in place, and you'll hear it when it snaps. All right, let's see what the next piece is. Ain't but one more step left, so it has to be this one, don't it? All right. Now you want to take your other side. This might be a little tricky. You just got to push around on it until you get it lined up. There it goes. Now, that's what it looks like, guys, to this point. So that's pretty simple, but I would suggest you have a heat gun or take your hair dryer, or even after heating it, them things wasn't easy to bend. So now what next? Alright guys, so we're going to have a recap right now. 'Cause I know the way I was holding that, y'all couldn't really see what was going on. So basically what you got a right side and a left side. And right here it's got road on there, right and left, so you'll know which one's right and left. Then your first piece down here on the bottom, that just this little piece right here, it's just that single piece with these holes in it. It'll snap right in place. Like I said, you have to lay your side down, snap it. Snap them all in that side, and then put your left side on the right side, whichever way you start, and snap it on. Your first step has to fold and snap in place, and it's better to have a heat gun because that thing was hard to bend. And that step and this step, which is your third step, is the same. Your second step's just like them, except it has a hole right here, and from what I'm understanding, that's in case you want to put some kind of light in your steps. All that hole is. Other than that, they're all three the same. Then your top step, it's just a little wide, just a little flat step, the only one in the box. But I know it's hard hard for y'all to see me having it laid down the way I did. Now, it calls for you to, right here on the top, to pour rock in here. So I'm finna, it says 10 to 15 pounds of rock, and I guess you pour it and you gotta shake it and try to make it work down in here the best you can to get to the bottom. And that keeps your steps weighted so they won't be trying to float. So right now I'm finna start pouring some rock in here. I got a funnel here that's got a decent sized hole in it, and I'm hoping these rocks will go in there. I ain't sure how this is gonna be aggravating. I don't know if these rocks. I got the littlest rock I could find. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. You got to put them in there, and then you got to turn it over to make it tilt and run around this deal. So I'm gonna be here a while putting this rock in here. I'll get back with y'all after I get it full, so it's gonna take a while. All right, guys, that there took about an hour and a half. You had to put a little handful at a time of rock in there. You had to put a little handful at a time of rock in this hole, and you see as soon as it goes in, it curves and goes. So you had to shake it and hit on it to make it go and go down in there. Now, I didn't have the exact rock that would have been best. The best rock's that bitty bitty brown pea gravel. But I couldn't find none in my town, so I got the little. It's little, but not like the little pea gravel, but still, even with the pea gravel, you'd have to put it in there a handful at a time and tilt it and bump it to make it run around that edge and go down in there. Now, to me, a man could go get him some mortar mix and mix it up like a slurry and just pour it in there like a liquid. And probably do just as good and let it set up like hard mortar. As long as he washes his steps all good before he gets on there doing it. Wash it off. I think a slurry out of mortar would just pour right in there and do it quickly. But anyway, next we're gonna be doing the railing for the top. You got 4 pieces. 2 of them's got right on them, and 2 of them's got an L on them right up here. Take the 2 L's, put them together like that, and you got 1-inch screws with a washer and a nut. And it takes 2 in each one. And the little screws is just almost not long enough. They actually hard to get started. They need to be about a 1/4 inch longer. Yeah, they could have sent them about 1 1/4 inch screws instead of 1 inch, because you really got to put one on there while the washer and pull it up, then put the other one on, tighten it up, then you can take the top nut back off and put your washer behind it. But you do both of them like that. You, like I said, you got for your right and left. At this point, you got these two little pieces right here. And you're gonna turn the long way back, because that'll be the part that's gonna bolt on to your dock. Slip them down here on you. And then this handrail, of course, is gonna be facing that way, because this part will be attached to your dock. Then you got these two pieces. One's got right on it, got R for right, and it's got an L for left. And left is looking at your stairs. That's your left. I was looking at it as coming down the stairs. That was my left. It's this way is your left. Let me get her screws. These here will be fastened with 1/2-inch screws and washers and nuts. Then it fastens up here to your handrail. We'll do the other side the same way. The next, guys, is where we're going to put the hole to bolt the handrails where we stuck it in top of the steps. But this is where you need your 5/16 drill bit to drill that hole. It has a starter hole, but it ain't got a hole in the handrail itself. They must have couldn't figure out how to make their machine drill that hole. I guess, I don't know. Before you drill that hole, make sure it's pushed all the way down in there. Guys, that is the assembled Vinyl Works 32-inch pool steps. Now, it's going to be tomorrow for me, but just a few seconds for y'all, because it's too late in the afternoon for me to get in that swimming pool. So I'm going to have to get this up on there, get it set over in the pool, and put my mat under it on the bottom. And I'm gonna have to do something. This is where everybody's is gonna be different. Unless your deck is above your swimming pool rail, this ain't gonna mount straight to it. So I'm gonna have to do a little carpentry work. Once we get it in there and make my board, probably put me another board up higher and sticking over the rail where the steps is gonna be to fasten the steps. And then these two little pieces, they'll go back here and screw on to your deck. And you'll screw them to your deck and drill a hole through them just like we did them right there and put a bolt in them. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. A few seconds for y'all. Well, good morning, everyone. It's the next day for me, just a couple seconds for y'all. So what I gotta do here, and this is gonna be, everybody's deck's gonna be a different situation on how your deck's built. I didn't build my deck to go over my railing because I wanted to where we could put the cover on the pool easily. So now I'm gonna have to take some boards, and I think I can take these two 4x4s and I can get up under the bottom and I can screw up through the decking and screw these boards down good. Then I'm gonna take two more boards and lay on top and screw them down. But before I screw these down, I got to set the steps in the pool and adjust this board in or out to make sure. I'm finna show y'all. You got to adjust this board in or out because this here step, it's kind of got a sharp edge on it. And I got a piece of pipe insulation. I'm gonna put this pipe insulation right along there like that. But even though I got that pipe insulation, I'm gonna drill a little hole and put a zip tie to hold that pipe insulation on that step. But I also still want my step a little ways away from my liner. That way when people's climbing and it's moving, it won't be rubbing up against the liner. So that's why I gotta get this blocks. I done measured the width of them. Cut me two 4x4 blocks. I'm gonna screw them on. Then I'll come back, set the steps in the pool, and adjust where I need these boards, and then I'll fasten it all down. Like I said, everybody's gonna have to come up with their own scenario on how they gonna fasten it to their deck. The way these steps are built is made for a deck that goes over the top of the pool and extends out, which is what these boards is gonna do. They're gonna extend out over the pool. And this is how I just put that piece of pipe insulation. I drilled me some little bitty holes and put a zip tie to hold that pipe insulation. That way, just in case it does get up against that liner, it'll have something between it and that sharp edge on that plastic step. All right, guys, I got the steps set in the pool, but I'm gonna remove these two handrails that comes up on the dock because mine's gonna have to be cut. So I'm gonna remove them until I get my steps on, fasten where I want them, and then I'll come back and put these back on and cut them and install them. Now I know these handrails is gonna be shaky because they just plastic. So that's why I'm putting my steps over here close to this railing on this deck. Because this one handrail, I'm gonna somehow put me a board and fasten it to that handrail to where it'll be one good stiff handrail, and then this one here just kind of be lightweight, light duty. It comes with the screws to screw your steps to wherever you're gonna fasten it. I'm thinking I got everything just where I want it, so I'm gonna go on and screw my top boards to my blocks, screw my steps to that board, and when I know it's just the way I want it, I gotta get in there and put the mat up under the bottom of it. Then I come back out and go up under the bottom of the deck and screw up through to my blocks. Well, I got my shorts on. I'm gonna get me one last swallow of coffee in case this here gives me the shock. Maybe it's so cold it shocks me to death. But here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put my head under that water to get this up under there, because that's 4 foot deep. I can't reach 4 foot deep. So here it goes, guys. Woo-hoo, that water is some kind of cold. Ain't no way you can go swimming in this. Ooh, guys. Right there make you wee-wee find somewhere to hide. Dang, it's cold out here. All right, guys. I wasn't thinking before I went in that water. The strip's that long, but it ain't but this wide. That means I'm gonna have to cut it in half and put one under each side of the step. If you put it across the steps like that, you're just gonna have your step sitting on part of it and the heel of it ain't. So that still ain't gonna do me no good. So I'm gonna have to cut it in half, and it'll be long enough then. Yeah, it'll be long enough then to put under each step. All right, I got her cut. Tell you what, they pretty sturdy steps just sitting there. The little handrails might be gonna be a little flimsy, but like I said, I'm finna run me something right here. I'm gonna stiffen this side. But these steps, these are some dang good steps, y'all. I can tell you that right already. As long as you put your rock in them, let them fill up with water as they sinking, get settled down. Yeah, they good sturdy steps. I ain't gonna have to go under the water. I'm using my toes like monkey toes and doing this work. All right, guys. Now I'm gonna pull off these wet shorts, put my overalls back on. And I'm gonna go up under the bottom, screw my blocks on here to the deck. Then I come back and put my handrails on. Because as you can see, they're gonna have to be cut. They're gonna have to be cut to go in them little pieces that goes on right there. I got her screwed up through the bottom. And then you got these little pieces that's gonna go right here for your handrail to fit in. Now in my situation, I gotta cut mine off. Right here, guys, is where you have to drill your hole to put your bolt, to bolt your railing to that little piece that slipped in. Your handrail. And there she is, guys. That's the final installation. Like I said, this here is just a little bit wobbly. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut me a brace that angles right into this railing on this pole. And I'm gonna put on this side and stiffen this one up. And I ain't sure that I ain't gonna put me one right here. Alright guys, so what I did, see my railing on top of my deck comes around. And I cut, which I didn't use a full width 2 before. I used it like a 2x2. And then I put this top plate just basically tied my railing right back into this rail. You can see that rail don't move now, none whatsoever. So on this side, I think I'm gonna put a brace down to the floor and then decorate it up somehow. All right, guys, there's the finished product. You see I put me a brace right there, and it ain't the prettiest. On top, I connected my handrails right on around. But them railings don't move none whatsoever right now. Kind of what it looks like from the side view. Flare 65 is in the way of that now. But what I like about these steps, they don't stick out very far in the water. Them some good sturdy steps too. You can get them 20, these are 32 inches. You can get them in 24 inches. But anyway, guys, I hope that's the last thing I had to put on this little pool beside me an umbrella. Well, guys, I hope that little video of assembling them steps, showing you how I put them in the pool, help some of you out, give you some ideas. Like I said, everybody's deck on how you gonna fasten them to your deck is gonna be differently according to how your deck's built. But I hope it gives you some ideas of what you can do and how you can stiffen the railings up. I see some of the negative comments on the reviews on them steps was talking about the railings be flimsy. Well, I don't know what people expect. They're made out of plastic. If they made them where they was good and sturdy, they cost $1,000, and then people would complain about that. But anyway, guys, I hope this little video was helpful to someone. If you like it, please give me a big thumbs up. Or a little thumbs up will work, just a thumbs up. Hit that like, subscribe. Help me grow my YouTube channel here. And thanks for watching. God bless, and y'all have a great day. See y'all next time.